Hi, my name is Anna Kelly and I'm a grad student. I am doing my research project on Noam Chomsky and the teacher today. Noam Chomsky, or Avram Noam Chomsky, I hope I am not butchering his name too much, is an amazing man. He is what I would call a Renaissance man. He is a scientist, linguistic, a philosopher, a professor, and in the latter years, he has been a revered political activist, not only within the education system of the United States and worldwide, but with politics in general, our economy, our relations, United States with different countries, and how we are all integrated and need to work together. He also has the great title of being called the father of modern linguistics. He is a highly influential academic figure, as I had said, and just a neat note, has been cited within the arts and humanities field more than any other living scholar. He is a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was born in 1928 to an affluent Jewish family. A little neat thing about Mr. Chomsky or Dr. Chomsky is that he lived in Philadelphia, but within that neighborhood, it was mainly Catholics and people of Irish descent. So his family were a minority. He went on to study at the University of Pennsylvania, where he studied linguistics, mathematics, and philosophy. He graduated and then also became a professor or at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he did most of his work on linguistics. I in my research project, have kind of taken a fascinating turn with it and just kind of his philosophical views on education. They have changed from his standpoint in the early 1960s and 70s. I feel like when I read and watch some of his videos that he was a proponent of our system, a public education system where everybody should be entitled to that. He himself, however, I wouldn't classify as a Democrat or a Republican, but more of an independent liberal socialist, but not in the socialist way that many people would probably take today. In saying that, his views of education was that everybody is entitled, that we needed a system and a free system for our students, our children to grow and embrace knowledge. Today, it's a different. He has challenges with what our public education system has become, and we as teachers, I feel, need to hear his voice and need to see how his points on our education system are either true or they opinions. I feel, how do they work with a teacher today, work with teachers that have been in the system for a long time and new teachers coming in, and how does it benefit our students? Lots of questions. Today, his valid questions pertaining to our public systems are questions that what knowledge and skills are worth learning? What are the goals of our education system now? Before, they were to help our students learn and become great citizens and citizens who gave back to our community. Now he feels that our public education system is a machine. We as teachers are teaching to the test. Our students are learning to the test. He believes our public school system needs an overhaul. We as teachers need to be taught how to teach to the content, to enlighten our students, to expand their horizons, to teach to what the children are interested in and are curious about. he goes back and forth in articles and videos I have watched about the enlightened age, and it is fascinating. His view is the traditional. It's the highest to inquire, to search, to internalize what we are learning, to understand as children and as adults what we are learning. We as teachers are determined how do we get our children to learn on their own, how to embrace that learning, how to appreciate it. Now that has been taken away. Teachers have to teach to the test. The students are taught to the test. Those tests, which I speak of, are the SATs, the ACTs, the GEDs, or not GEDs, but the grad student test, the praxis test. Those tests determine our future. But are they really indicative of what we have learned and what we can give back to our society? That is his question. And as teachers today, we really need to think about that. Are we teaching to the test? Are we pushing through facts rather than saying you have to learn this, or critical thinking? How do you learn it? Why should we learn it? What would you think about it? We need to be asking our students more questions like this, and we need to give them the opportunity to figure it out, to come up with ideas on their own. We also need to, we need to cultivate their growth. And I agree with Mr. or Dr. Chomsky. I keep saying Mr., excuse me. We have to instill a love of learning in our children throughout the education. Our education system does need an overhaul. We need to focus on the student and what they want to learn. Basically, I feel like we need to go back to the basics. We don't need to teach to the test, and that is my opinion. His view on the education on the past and today can be a tool for teachers coming in to be able to ask and answer questions and kind of motivate us and direct our course of learning. How do we keep our students engaged? How do we foster our national curiosity? How do you maintain it? How do you make students know and accept critical thinking? How do you make the home to school connection? Those are questions I will delve into in my research paper. It is interesting that Dr. Chomsky has, and I looked it up, it's kind of neat. He says teachers today, actually, I'm going to go back. Finland, which has the best educational system in the world, by the records, is at least free. Germany's is free. In the United States, between the 1950s, basically all education was free. Now, in America, we've gotten to where we have private schools, and we have to pay a whole bunch of money to go and learn. Is this part of the testing process? Is this part of us teaching to the test? Has it become commercialized rather than what it was truly meant to be? So I hope this has helped and has encouraged and fostered some questions that you may have had. Thank you.